I'm Helen Bacigalupi. I was married to Charles Bacigalupi. He was a dentist, and I was a pharmacist. We came to Healdsburg in 1951. The Goddard Ranch, which is this ranch, had been in the same family for 100 years. There were only 2 generations. It turned out that my husband had a patient called Bob Sisson. He was the Sonoma County Vineyard Advisor. And so Charles asked him, if you were going to plant a new vineyard, what would you plant? And he said, in this area, I would plant Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. We still have that same Wente clone. And it was the Wente clone that went in the Paris tasting. Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, this is ideal climate for them. See, they grow them over in the valley, but they don't get the flavor over there that we get here.
Yeah, my father and I both, we did the farming. So my mother was responsible for basically the business aspects. We've also built, I think, a reputation for Pinot Noir and Zinfandel over the years. But the Chardonnay was first. And that goes back to the Paris tasting block and the fact that we sold grapes to Chateau Montelena that went into that wine.
The French were so sure they were going to beat us out that they agreed to do it. It was a blind tasting against all the top Chardonnays in France. And they were so sure. In fact, one of them said when they tasted it, he says, here's the French wine now. And then he was so chagrined when it turned out to be from the United States.
Taking over for Helen, I've had a good teacher. She's an amazing woman. She's just a survivor. She's an amazing woman. She's quite a negotiator. I think also I'm a strong woman too, so at times we definitely would have our differences. But obviously, you know, because of the family, I respected her and just really have learned a lot. The Bacigalupi name in the world of wine, I think, really has denotes consistent quality. When people come in the tasting room and they say, oh, I have seen this name somewhere before. And then we explain to them how our name is trademarked and that we do sell fruit to a lot of different people, but only a certain amount are allowed to put the vineyard designate on it, that we have quality control. Then they know, and they usually say, gee, I've experienced that. You know, when I see a wine with this name on it, I know that that wine is going to be really good.
We kind of bounce things off of each other. Nikki does a little bit more of the marketing. I handle like all of our membership, the wine club, newsletter, website. It's a lot of different things. We wear many hats. Our hats are like this tall all the time.
I think growing up with having your grandparents work together, you're in a business, and then now also our parents work together as co-owners. We've grown up around that, so it's helped kind of pave the way for us to learn from the best, and it's a challenge, you know. Sometimes the perks are that we're a family business, and sometimes they are not.
That's the challenge, yeah. My name is Ashley Herzberg, and I'm the winemaker here for Bacigalupi Vineyards. I started making wine for them about 5 years ago when we started our Bacigalupi label again. We are in the middle of the Bacigalupi Vineyards. We're standing on one of our 3 ranches. This is our Goddard Ranch. This was actually our original property. So as a winemaker, my job is to take the grapes from the vineyard, where we are right now, all the way through to the bottle. I became a winemaker kind of a little bit different of a route. I didn't study winemaking in college. I studied chemical engineering, but it's all science and engineering based, and then there's just like this magical artistry to it. So a lot of it was just on the job learning. You know, I read obviously a lot of books, but I learned from really great winemakers, but most of it was just hands-on. I love the Bacigalupis. I love working for them. They are the most incredible family that I have ever met. They just have such a tightness and closeness to them, and they've totally welcomed me into their fold. And they all love each other, and they're patient with each other, and they all work together. I mean, every single one of them, and the kids are always running around. They're little ones now, and they're just so kind to each other. And as far as a family goes, and especially a family business, you know, to have that kind of patience and love of each other is really important, and it's not something that you always see. So to be part of that and to be welcomed so openly into their family has just been a blessing.
We love sharing our story and the product that we've created with the public, and it's just something to enjoy with family and friends.
We built a wine industry here that rivals Europe, but we did it in a very short period of time.